Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Libra energy, and like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row I'll refer to as high vibe Libra energy, and the bottom row is a more worldly, shadowy Libra energy. We all have our dualistic nature, and we have to make decisions in our life. And in our more worldly nature, we could be tempted to make decisions more out of fear, insecurity, pride, ego, immaturity, laziness, codependency. And in our high vibe nature, we might want to move forward in life differently. But that can be difficult because we might have to change habits or change jobs or friendships or relationships or speak our true something. And it can be challenging for some people to do that. And we've all got to listen to our intuition about when we feel the time is right for us to make the changes that we're kind of being called to make, or to just love and believe in ourselves more than we had previously. So, let's see. High vibe Libra energy is about, life's all about learning lessons, and some people have learned some lessons that some other people haven't, about how to play nicely with others and to treat other people in a just and fair way, and being authentic, being loving. And some people in their more worldly, shadowy nature could be more about themselves, or defensive to love, don't want to be hurt, or they're just more about the world, ego, image, indulgence, and we just need to see the truth of it. The truth sets us free. If you harness high vibe Libra energy, we all tap into Libra energy. Your idea of what you think is just and fair is different than what other people think is just and fair. To kind of get out of our ego about it and just accept the truth of it. Not everybody's idea of like the dream life and the dream relationship is different than, what drives and motivates other people. So we will see what is going on in Libra energy. Okay. So the reason for the reading for the bottom row is the door to romance. So in our life, we have all these lessons to learn, and we could let our heart run our life, our mind run our life, our worldly nature of things of the world kind of dominate our life, or our more passionate nature run our life. And we've all got lessons to learn. Maybe some people are learning lessons because they're kind of letting whatever it is they love, if that's themselves or the world or indulgence or whatever, is kind of maybe running their life right now. And we could all have people in our life that we love, but if we find them to be kind of not stable and grounded or balanced with the storm warning card, it's the reason why the top rose reading came out. Everybody can view life whatever way they want it, and some people can be very unstable, ungrounded, immature, egotistical, whatever. And we can have love for them, but we might not want to hang around with them very much. So let's go look at the bottom row. We have the third chakra, which is kind of like wanting to give birth to something new. And the victory card, the thinking man, all tied up, carrying connections, and door to value. So, people in their free will could love to operate more from their ego nature and live more from their mind than their heart. And some people like to be in relationships with people who also live more from their mind than their heart. Like, this makes practical, logical sense. You should work here. You should be in a relationship with me. We would look victorious and successful. And for some people, that's the most important thing in life is, does it look victorious and successful? Or I just want to be in a relationship. I might... the victory card I view is kind of like the Six of Wands, fiery energy. Some people just like to be in relationships to indulge themselves in a relationship. And in the King of Swords, the thinking man, in their Libra energy, they could think that's just and fair. Maybe if they weren't in a relationship with someone, it gets them all up in their head and worried about if they'll get in a relationship or be in a relationship. So then it's just to kind of try to get in a relationship. And sometimes it's not about the quality of the connection with the door to value. It could just be the importance of being in a relationship for some people, because they're in a mental prison about maybe not being in a relationship, Libra, represented by the scales of justice. Are we very balanced within ourselves? Are we imbalanced? Do we get caught up in our head? Kind of the King of Swords normally holds one sword, and then the all tied up is like an Eight of Swords card. The difference between those two is the Seven of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, which can be like, I want to look like a shining star. I want to look like I have what other people have in the world. I want to look victorious and successful, but they can get so caught up in their head about wanting to have a certain image and things that they want. Those things end up kind of manipulating them, and they could get in relationships where, it's not even based on love. It's more like, I want to be in a relationship. I need to look victorious and successful. I need people to view me a certain way. I want to look like I have justice in the world. But in this picture, they have their back to the door to value and the door to romance. So that would be some people who, I don't know, might just want to be in a relationship for a relationship's sake. Could be people who try to deceive and manipulate people to get them into a relationship with them, but then they might not want those people to ever grow or heal or mature themselves, and they like them to stay right here, because the shadowy row can be people who want to stay in their comfort zone. And the storm warning is like the Tower card. I have a way of viewing life, and I don't want to let go of that way of viewing life to ever do life any differently. And so if some people don't look at life from a higher perspective, which also is the Seven of Swords in Aquarius energy, that the most important thing is for me to have a certain ego, image, or status in the world, to look victorious and successful. They're not really kind of connecting in with their more emotionally intuitive, loving nature, that there's so much more to life than getting so caught up in having a certain ego or image, and it kind of manipulates them. And then shadowy kind of energy can be trying to manipulate and control people. And if they don't ever want to maybe be in a more just and fair relationship, less codependent relationship, authentic loving relationship, when they get people in relationships with them, they might try to control and manipulate those people. They might even purposely look for people who they think, it's kind of like using their intuition in a shadowy way. Who do I think is up in a mental prison about love? Who do I think hasn't detached from their more worldly, fearful nature that I can get in a relationship with me? It'd be good for my ego and my image and my status, that I think will live life this way and will never kind of learn to love and appreciate themselves and believe in themselves and believe in their dreams more, that they think will never detach from this way of viewing life. Because some people, their view of life is, it is more about the world, it is more about them, it is more about the status and the image, and they want to be in relationships with other people who view that life that way. And they could have previously been in relationships with people who saw the truth. With this card being like the Tower card, it's seeing the truth of someone's foundation. And we can all get in jobs, friendships, and relationships with people, and we think our dream is going to come into reality, that we're not going to be so caught up in our more immature ways of being and defensive and worldly that, oh, and the light came on. That we're going to be illuminated to the truth that it is about authentically being loving and healing learning to be abundant within ourselves emotionally, so we are willing to step out of our comfort zone and kind of like spread love in the world, you know? And some people don't ever want to step out of their comfort zone. And they're not willing to detach from this more worldly or about themselves or their more defensive nature or ego nature. And they've probably had some people in their life that had been in relationships with them, and they did do some healing or growing or maturing within themselves to love themselves. And I think other loving people offer people love in their relationships to move forward with them. But they could have realized they harness this energy differently, and they, when we initially get in relationships, sometimes we get in mismatched relationships. One person does have hope and faith and belief and love, and we can get in a relationship with someone who really doesn't. And then we can go in a relationship and the blossoming abundance. One person does offer themselves love to heal from their fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs, to let go of some of that baggage so that they can move forward in life differently. And other people don't. You have to be, even motivated and inspired to want to look at the issues that stop you from loving and believing in yourself, to heal. And just to learn to love yourself, to feel abundant within yourself. A more worldly, shadowy energy can be people where they define their worth and value. So much of it is defined by the world and how they think other people view them. And that is where they derive their sense of worth and value. What they wear, what they own, how they appear in the world. And other people, they don't give. Everybody wants stability and security and enjoy some of the finer things in life, but they don't make that the definition of their worth and value. They think it's about being free of those things that manipulate you, to work through your baggage, to be set free. High vibe energy is about being independent, being free from things that manipulate you. Some people could have people in their life that they love, and if those people in their life don't live life differently, they won't live life differently. High vibe energy is being more independent. A shadowy energy is being more codependent. And it could just be codependent on ego, codependent on their self-protective, defensive nature, could be codependent on other people in their life, in Leo, Libra energy, Gemini energy, that, I would only move forward if those people move forward in life differently. If they don't move forward in life differently, I'm going to keep hanging out with them. If there's other people in my life that I could be in relationships with, and those people want to move forward in life differently, sorry, this is my primary group of people that I kind of have loyalty to. So unwilling to kind of give birth to anything new. And the other people are willing to give birth to something new. Because we're either repeating an old pattern kind of over and over and over again, or we're willing to give birth to something new. Which again, I want to be more independent of things that manipulate me. I don't like the world manipulating me. I don't like other people manipulating me. I want love and my intuition to guide the decisions that I make in my life. And when I see something doesn't seem to be stable or grounded or just or fair, I'm not willing to stay in it. And I might have been willing to stay in it at one time because I hadn't learned to appreciate myself and value myself and love myself. And I could have been in more codependent energy. And some people still are. And eventually, people saw that if I really want to have my dreams come into reality, I need to learn to love myself. And I need to do this work within myself to heal, to feel abundant within myself, give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me to heal from past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs, so I can detach from being manipulated by my mind, by my ego nature, by my immature nature, my lustful, greedy nature, my more codependent nature. If I really want my dreams to come into reality, I need to heal from that so I don't repeat a pattern of getting in relationships more for those reasons, and that it has to be based on truth and love. That is building a stable foundation. So I think if any of you were in a relationship that initially you could have thought it was very just and fair, and in a lot of ways it could have been healing for you and other people in the relationship, it's just that eventually you felt like shadowy energy can be where we feel limited, restricted, confined, imprisoned, and we're not really free to live our authentic life. Like, we've got to conform to these unwritten rules and regulations, or make our life more about conforming to the world. And high vibe energy is, the difference again between the 1 and the 8 of Swords is the 7 of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, which I am willing to step outside of societal norms to bring needed change to the world. And I do think there's more to life than just making my life about indulging myself in my ego and my image. And, I think it's about offering other people love and encouragement to help them believe in themselves and love themselves. We need more healed people in the world. And some people don't want to do that because everybody can be like the competition. If you operate more from your ego and you want people to view you a certain way, well, you certainly don't want other people to do better because they might outshine you. Well, high vibe energy is everybody's got their own unique talent, skills, and interests. We can't all do everything. And we encourage other people to be their authentic self, use their unique talent, skills, and interests. And other people might be like, no, you should do these things and you should make your life about this. And, you shouldn't not be like unique in the world. You shouldn't do things that do step outside of societal norms in a way, or shine your authentic light. And that's a process of willing to step into your own being more authentically yourself, and that can take many decades of your life to get there. But with the storm warning being like the Tower card, there could have been something that happened that made you realize that some people, whether it was a supervisor at work or people you were in relationship, maybe kind of realizing that some people you were in relationship with kind of like it when either that you felt they were being deceptive or manipulative, prideful, egotistical, manipulative, controlling, or they like you being up in a mental prison, because some people like to be in relationships. Then they can play like the loving, nurturing person in your life. And if there isn't other things going in your life, having you up in your head and stressed out, then they'll do things to, like always liking to play that role in your life. It's like, what about we can be at peace and we can just get along? It's like, oh, I'm not used to being in relationships like that. I like people to look to me to be the answer to their problems or something. And kind of like, I want you in codependent energy with me or something. Or you could have just found that seeing the truth is some people are maybe shadowy Libra, can be kind of emotionally cold, detached, bossy, controlling, really get caught up in their head about things, are more motivated by ego, and you could have felt like people wanted to keep staying in a relationship with you more because of the ego and the image than love. And it's like, wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to be about love. But I'm kind of thinking it's maybe more for the status or the ego or the image, and that's not why I want to stay in a relationship. And when you saw that truth, you realized you weren't on the same page, and you could have realized that, like normal things in life, you kind of go through a phase of life, you learn lessons, then you kind of realize some things that need to go and what are the good building blocks to take with you. And then you create something new. That would be the blossoming abundance. And you realize maybe with some people, they get caught up in their head about having hope and faith and belief in themselves or in love. And then they could do things more out of their fear or their insecurities or something that is destructive to a relationship moving forward. And if you keep trying to be loving and encouraging to people and they keep kind of doing things where it keeps not moving forward, you kind of realize nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to grow here. They have a way of viewing life and a way of living life, and that is their comfort zone. And they clearly want to stay in it. So it kind of gets to be where I wish you peace, but I can't keep living my life repeating that same pattern. If in love we're not willing to heal and grow and mature ourselves to be able to detach from our more worldly or codependent or immature or defensive or egotistical or bossy or controlling ways, I need to leave. And then once we leave, though, then we have to do this work within ourselves, and then the tower again is kind of the final being able to detach from that foundation and let it go. So some people right now that are in some mismatched relationships could be having some disruption going on in their life. Some people could just be now seeing that things aren't ever going to change and they're going to get out of it. Other people are in the process of healing and still feeling very unsettled within themselves, and they need this time to heal. Other people are ready to have that brand new beginning because they're done with the healing process. So what's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Libra energy that they might not see coming up? The Six of Swords. Why? Because of the Two of Cups and the Five of Wands. So the Six of Swords moves away from the Five of Swords, having this mental conflict about that there's people in our life that we have love for. And some of the people, if they're friends and family members and people we just know in the world, we could have some inner conflict about how they are in the world and how they live their life. And with a lot of people, that's okay. You live your life the way you want to live it. People will have free will to live their life the way they want. I just might not spend much time with you. But it's harder if it's other people that we wanted to have a dream come into reality. Both the Six and the Seven of Swords are Aquarius energy. And we could realize that some people in the Five of Swords energy have a lot of mental conflict and inner conflict about love or being more balanced in a relationship and just and fair. And they kind of like it to be maybe more about them, or where they try to control things, and then there's some people that we know that kind of seem to want to win at all costs, and they don't really care if anybody else gets hurt because it's really just all about them, and we see the truth of it. So whatever the mental conflict was, eventually people work through the mental conflict and they see the truth. The only person they can change is themselves, and love helped change some people. And loving energy, loving people, all these different things can inspire us to heal and to do this inner work. It can be movies, music, books, art, people in our life. Some people looked at life from a higher perspective because of other loving people in their life, harnessing high vibe Cancer, high vibe Leo, high vibe Aquarius, where they do look at life from a higher perspective. They're not trying to manipulate and control people. they offer people love and encouragement to love and believe in themselves, to not live their life more from their mind than their heart. You know, we have our divine inheritance that we can have in this world, but if we don't love and believe in ourselves and believe we deserve that, we'll settle for less than we deserve, and we could stay in jobs, friendships, and relationships that really aren't very just and fair. By worldly standards, it might look just and fair, but maybe just feeling like it's not authentic, you know? And high vibe energy wants us to believe in our dreams, and the only person we can change is ourselves. So high vibe people love themselves enough to put life in perspective, keep life in perspective. There are these things that I want in the world. Do I need them today? Do I need them next year? No. You know, I don't want to be in jobs, friendships, and relationships that I think are more superficial and shallow, where people are trying to manipulate me or being deceitful or being egotistical, or, you know, I want to spend my time with other people who are more just and fair and loving and authentic and warm and nurturing, who don't act like that. And as some of you are moving forward, you could be offering love, and because the masculine energies can represent that you are taking action in the world. And this can be male or female, because we all take action. It's considered masculine energy because nobody can really know how we think and feel. But you're being authentic, and you're offering love and healing to people, to love and encourage them to believe in themselves and believe in their dreams. And as you're doing that and moving forward, then there's going to be other people that you're going to meet, and other people who might approach you that want to move forward with you in a relationship. And before you maybe move forward with some people, the swords and the wands can talk about communication, to get to know people, to find out what drives and motivates them. Do they look at life from a higher perspective? Are they more about ego and image? Are they competitive in the world? Are they trying to cause you inner conflict, tempt you more in your lust or your greed or your pride or your ego? Or do you think they're being authentic and honest? And the people who you think are being authentic and honest will be the people that you move forward with. It could be shocking to some people in your life. Maybe they didn't know there was anything that you were working on to be a new beginning for you. That was part of your dream. And, you know, even when people aren't in relationships, you're still working on your own unique talent, skills, and interests, and putting in work and effort to all the other parts of your life that are part of that dream. Your friendships, your relationships, your career. And as you're doing that and other people see that you're not operating in these more shadowy ways of being, then there will be other people that are willing to move forward with you because they see that you're more on the same page as them. So, detaching from the past to move forward in loving, high vibe Leo, warm, authentic relationships of your dreams. What's coming up for people who might harness a little more worldly, shadowy Libra energy that they might not see coming? Okay. We had a card come out not showing itself, and the reason is because of the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups. You know, there can always be people in the world that are being kind of manipulative or full of themselves, or trying to tempt people in their more worldly nature. And they're going to have some high vibe people in their life that wanted to be in a relationship with them. The Two of Cups is Cancer. Some of you could have been dealing with a Cancer, or you are the Cancer, but it can just represent someone who is willing to work with them together in love. And some of those people are going to leave their life. Why? They wish them peace, but they never wanted to work together with them cooperatively in love. and they see the truth of it. And so they wish them peace. And out of love for themselves, they're going to heal themselves because they want their dream to come into reality. And their dream can only come into reality with other people who are willing to deal with the truth of their own foundations that aren't built on love. Or until they look at what manipulates and controls them, if it's their ego, if it's a Leo, if it's their mind, if it's their self-defensive nature, if it's other people in their life that kind of manipulate and control them, where they're not independent to live their own more authentic life, well, then other people see the truth of it. And I want to be in relationships with people who are willing to be more independent in the world, because that's what high vibe energy is about. Being independent of your more worldly, shadowy, egoic nature to go on this adventure in life, letting love and intuition guide you. And some people did not see that coming because they could have known, again, that some of the people in their life do have love for them, and they could have thought those people would never let go of being in a relationship with them. Like they would keep indulging them in a relationship, in their poor behavior. And eventually people work through why they would consider doing that. They see the truth that it's because of my own inner conflict. And as long as I have that inner conflict, people can manipulate me because of it. So the only person I can change is me, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to offer myself that cup of love to heal that part of me that would stay in a relationship when people aren't treating me in a just and fair and loving way. And when they do that, it can be a real shock to some of the people in their life that you're no longer in the Seven of Swords confused about the truth. Because some people try to present themselves as these just and fair and stable and grounded and loving people. But as time goes by, to a degree they might seem to be that way. But again, it can seem more superficial and shallow. It can seem that it's more about the ego and the image. And it's like you saw the truth of their foundation and it wasn't built on love. And you're no longer up in your head about it. You chose to love yourself, to value yourself, and appreciate what you bring to the table, and to heal. And it can be that last time of saying, this is how I'm going to move forward. Do you want to move forward with me in this way or not? And if not, then that's the end of the way. If people keep choosing to take action more out of defensiveness or ego, then it's like, I wish you peace. I'm moving on. And they might end up, there's always going to be other people. God uses everyone for God's good purposes. There's going to be other people who want to be in a relationship with people, all sorts of people in the world. And, the person they might end up being more on the same page with is someone else who makes a gesture to get in a relationship with people, but they also reject aligning with their more loving nature. And could be other people who also, I want to be in a relationship. It's good for my ego and my image. This makes practical, logical sense. I have fear about loving and believing in myself. I'll stay in a relationship with you. This looks good. It just might not be more because of love. And that would be a just and fair relationship with them, for them. Because if that's what they align with it within themselves, that should be the type of people they're in relationship with. Not trying to get people who are open and loving and giving and nurturing and supportive to get them in a relationship with them and try to manipulate and control them when they know they're not that type of person. That's an injustice. And people listen to higher truth and justice. And it could have been difficult because they had love for those people. And by worldly standards, it could have looked very successful. But the other people said, I don't think these people are really driven and motivated by love. And that's my dream. And it keeps me kind of imprisoned and I'm going to listen to my higher truth, and I'm going to believe in myself and believe in my dreams. So there you go, Libra energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.